Hello, class, and welcome to week 4 of Composition 2. We are moving right along. I've been enjoying reading what you're saying about your topics and the comments that you have for each other. So that's really good. Let me go into week 3 real quick. I'll focus on this idea of discussion 8 that we are working on right now. This is technically Thursday, the snow day. So I haven't gone through everything and you haven't done this yet, most likely. But the idea is that right now you're not locked into your topics. These are not permanent topics. We're just thinking about them. The main goal is to come up with an argument and a call to action. The call to action, the most important thing. What can we do or what should be done about this issue? And so we need to think about it that way. Um, your opinions are valuable. Your ideas are valuable. Those should be part of it. You should care about this topic. You shouldn't be too detached from it. But again, at the same time, I don't want you to feel like you have to change your views that might be well established in order to feel like you need to get a good grade. So that's why I do have those banned topics. I don't want you to think I'm judging your views and opinions and not your writing and your arguments. So those are important distinctions and separations to make, and that's why I do have some restrictions on what topics to select. So please make sure you are reading through discussion 6 and reading my comments. This is my 808 class, but make sure you read my comments. That I'll provide some detailed things, and always be positive about what you're looking at, issue some cautions, provide you some ideas. So and always contact me if you want to discuss the topic more, because you really want to do it, you're not sure how to do it. That's why I'm here. You're not doing this alone. As a class, with an instructor, you have guidance, so please reach out to me. Some of you are doing that, and that's great. I would rather hear from you than not. So contact me, send me a billion emails, send them late at night. I'll get to them in the morning. Send me texts, call me, come to my office hours. Nobody ever comes to my office hours. That's all right. But contact me and ask me questions, because I'm here to help you. And that's important. My job is to make sure that you do well in this course and learn the materials and the skills. Can't do that if you're not asking questions. So I always say this, there are stupid questions, but that doesn't mean they deserve answers. So ask me those dumb questions. I'd rather you ask those than not have an answer. So that's where we are. When you log in, so we're moving on, we log into Blackboard, you'll see I've cleaned up some things a little bit. I've moved week 1, week 2, all the way down here. So that way it's easier. You don't have to do a whole lot of scrolling. So week 4, quick thing, if you are one of those people that really likes to work ahead, you will probably notice that this is completely different than what was there a few days ago. That's because I do change the syllabus and from previous years, but in order to make this course, I just copy the course and have everything there. So all the discussion boards that I regularly use are there. All the assignments are there, so I can keep some consistency, but I do change things up. So please make sure you refer to the course schedule. I do have this little marker here. So if you're being brave and coming down here and looking at what's happening for week 5, this might change. So you want to compare week 5 to what I have here in the course schedule. That's what I go by. And it does say, okay, well, the readings are the same. So that is good. So you could see that most of this is correct. Now, this is an older video, so this may not be correct, but most of this other stuff is correct. So just keep that in mind. And I'm sorry to keep hounding it, but I want to make sure that you know that I'm trying to keep on top of things, but I don't want to reveal too much too early. So week 4, that's what we're focusing on. We have a reading assignment. We're reading Steve Kolowicz's On the Front Lines of a New Culture War. I haven't taught this essay in a while. I haven't used this essay in a while, so I think it's good to bring back because I think it's important, and it does connect to the other things we're discussing from the Sean Blanda. The Other Side Is Not Dumb, but also in terms of arguments and understanding and these other issues we're looking at. So I think that's important. We'll read that, and by Wednesday night, looking for a summary Sunday at the latest. The due date does actually say Sunday, so get that in. But the discussion board is due Wednesday night. Please get that in. And then we are finishing up the reading of They Called Us Enemy. I didn't actually put that in there, but finish. They Called Us Enemy. It moves quickly. There are 2 discussion boards. One is for just the section pages 124 through 204, not 2004. And then one that kind of asks you to think about the bigger picture. And then there's a summary of the final pages. And then we have journal 2, which is your thoughts on They Called Us Enemy. All of this is building up to writing a book review. And a book review, of course, is different from a book report. A book report is a summary, and I liked it. A book review is, here are some of the main themes. Here's what's going on. Here's how I'm interpreting it. Here's what I think the author is trying to do. And here's where the author succeeds or fails. That's kind of what we're looking at. You're evaluating it. So I want you to think about, Amazon reviews or restaurant reviews or movie reviews, and you can read those as well as consider how you would review something. What would you want to focus on in a review, and how does that impact who is reading your review? So we have our video announcement, which is what you're watching right now. This is technically the old one, so because I'm not that good at the internet. Some notes on summary, so please read through this. I usually recycle this because it's important. Always begin with a summary that mentions the author's first and last name and the title of the work you're summarizing. Same thing with the book review. George Takei's graphic memoir, They Called Us Enemy. That's the focus. That's what we're talking about. Book titles are always in italics. No, it's not always in italics on Blackboard because sometimes it won't let me do italics. But when you are writing, it should be in italics. It's not in quotations. It's not underlined. It is not bolded, quoted, and underlined and italicized. It's only italics. Article titles are in quotations, so the other side is not dumb. Capitalize all major words. Just use a general idea of anything that's longer than 4 letters. Capitalize it. Website names are in italics. Newspapers, magazines, and journals are also in italics. New York Times. Do not call They Called Us Enemy a novel. Novels are a fiction. I know we want to say graphic novel. You're used to reading novels, but it's a memoir, a graphic memoir, or a book. Those are fine. Refer to the author by last name, not Georgie, not Sean. You do not know them personally. They are not your friends. If they are, that is wonderful, but most readers will not know that you are friends. So out of respect, we call them by their last names. And there's, more Georges than there are Takais. And summarizing it, be careful about what you're calling them. Don't refer to the Japanese American people that are interned in these camps as Japs, because that is derogatory. Please do not do that. It doesn't seem like it, and he's using it, but please don't use it for yourself. Japanese Americans, the Japanese citizens, I don't know if even Japanese citizens, I would call them Japanese Americans, or the interred people of Japanese descent. I don't know. It's really hard to figure out what they are because there are these really weird citizenship rules from this time period that, weren't solved. I mean, people did, Civil Rights Act did not happen in 1965. So a lot of people could not vote. Were not considered citizens. Like Black women were not allowed to vote until 1965. This is the 1940s. Who is a citizen? We recently had, as a country, the Chinese Exclusion Act. I forget what years those were, but basically said people from China cannot immigrate and become US citizens. There were these rules, and it was very important that we understand these things, but we don't always learn these things in history. Works cited entry, so that will help you out a little bit. We'll move on. PDF of On the Front Lines of the Culture War. When you click on this, it's going to look like it's super long, but it is not. The font is just huge because that's how it downloaded. So it says it's 28 pages, but there's pictures, advertisements, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully this advertisement. Oh, don't tell me there's an advertisement. Oh. I'll try to fix this. I didn't see the advertisement that was there. It's so hard to download things. So I'll fix that, upload a new one, but you can see it's pretty large. So summaries right here. So Sunday night, but try to get Wednesday. 2 discussion boards. Let me know if you have questions about these. These are places for you to put your thoughts because they're going to help you when you are writing your review. Oh, we're not doing the Freeman summary. I changed that. So let me delete that. Summary for Coleridge, then 2 discussion boards, final summary. There's only one of these. And then the thoughts. I'm asking you in the journal to do one, however you want, but consider this pre-writing strategies. I want you to record your initial thoughts. You're doing that in your discussion boards as well. So maybe there's a question in the discussion board you want to explore some more. Maybe you really want to talk about the political issues or the target audience. And you just had a few words here, but now you've thought about it. You want to discuss a lot of things. Maybe you have an immediate reaction to this book. Maybe you were really pissed off at the end of this book. He had you until the end, right? So what do you want to look at? Maybe you want to explore that and talk through these emotions and, what do you think he was trying to do and how does that impact you? It's going to impact you depending on your echo chamber. So consider your echo chamber, where you're from, your race, your socioeconomic class, your heritage, right? These various things are important to consider and how that impacts how you respond to this end of this book. Is it a justified ending, a justified comparison, things like that? Or you can just free write. Write a letter to grandma, say, dear grandma, I just read a book called They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. It's about this, and here's what happens in it. How can you write this? And, I'm asking only for about 300 words. It's not a lot. You can write 500 words, you can write 1,000, write as much as you want. I don't really care. I'm just wanting you to have a place to write and store this information. So that is what we are doing for this week. If you have any questions, please contact me. I love hearing from you. It's my only way to hear from you in an online class aside from reading what you submit. So have a great week. Enjoy the snow. Be safe. I'm looking out my window right now. It's coming down. So take care. Stay warm. Drive safe. Don't do anything stupid on the roads. It's fun, but you never know what's going to happen. It's a sheet of ice under that snow. So you all take care. I'll see you later.